You know, some of the apostles
Apostles for what?
for Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
know,
what about them?
You know, they died. They got crucified like Jesus. You know, there was one apostle who got crucified upside down because he said he wasn't even worthy to be killed how Jesus was. What's going on, everybody? Javi here.
Gustavo, what's up?
Hope you're having a good one. Thanks for checking in. We're gonna pop it off. Episode 17 with a Would You Rather. All right, man. You guys can comment. Would you rather? What would you rather do as well? But I'm gonna get Gus's right here. Stavos. Would you rather spend 5 years in jail or 10 years in a coma?
5 years in jail.
5 years in jail?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 years. I mean, the time is still going.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I saw that recently online on TikTok or something. And people were saying, a lot of people kept saying 10 years
Okay.
in a coma, but I was like,
what would you rather do? 5 years in a coma or 10 years in jail?
5 years in a coma.
Okay.
I'm saying I'd rather do the least amount of time when whatever it is.
Yeah, because you're locked. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Same.
Yeah. Be the least amount of time.
I got a good one.
All right.
All right. So would you rather be able to move things with your mind, right? Or make them disappear?
I would say move things.
Move?
Yeah. Over making them disappear because once it's gone, it's gone.
Exactly. I think I'd pick disappear. I gotta wonder. We're making this up, so it's our thing. So like, can I make something disappear that is like on TV? I'm not there to have to be in person type thing.
Yeah. Well, that's your thought. My thought was, what about people? Like
That's what I'm thinking. Like you
if
could be like,
if I make a person disappear, they're never gonna come back
you'd be
again.
like a professional like hitman or something.
Yeah. No, I think I'd rather just move things.
Because like, would your moving things be dependent on like what you can move, like muscle wise, like you can bench or squat, whatever. Like
Yeah, but
you know what I mean. Like it's dependent on your physical strength.
Well, that varies because they say with adrenaline you're actually able to like lift a lot more than you possibly could. So
yeah, I'm saying on average. So then I'm saying on like your normal strength.
I can bench press like 850, squat 1290,
Yeah,
deadlift.
Yeah, it's
No, I'm just kidding.
1,000-pound club.
1,000 pounds. I actually watched a guy the other day doing that 1,000-pound club, and he squatted like 985, bench like 575, and then deadlift like 600 something. His total was like 2,400. I was like, damn, big guy.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so if you've been online, you've definitely heard recently of Kanye West, everything that's going on with him. I'm assuming you've heard about Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
So Kanye West, if you haven't heard, which I know you have, we're just gonna do a few things, talk about a few different topics today in regards to this specifically, kind of this whole area. And I kind of want to preface this by saying, if I incorrectly, pronounce something or use the incorrect term for whatever I'm talking about, just let me know. Don't meet me up or anything. Just let me know. Yeah. So basically, Kanye West is
AKA his new name.
who? Kanye?
Yeah.
I didn't know he got a new name.
So yeah, he's trying to be called Ye now.
That's been going on.
Okay, well I came across it today,
new.
and he said it again. Go on.
People have called him Ye forever. Anyway,
I know.
so yeah, he's said some anti-Semitic remarks. That's like the big issue right now, and he said things over the course of. He said it. His entire career, he's just said a lot of controversial stuff. And yeah, obviously people are really upset about it. And he's been getting dropped from a lot of stuff, right? I have a
list.
A timeline here, I guess, of what's recently been happening, right? So at the beginning of October, he had the White Lives Matter shirts. People were getting upset about that, and they were saying stuff. And then, October 8th and 9th, Instagram and Twitter restricted his accounts. And then through the 10th to the 17th, he just had a decline to radio play, which, kind of makes sense with all the stuff he was saying. And then celebrities were calling him out middle of October. As far as partnerships, Balenciaga, a big one, ended their stuff with him on October 21st. And, Khloe and Kim Kardashian, who cares about them? They decided to speak out. That was on the 24th. He had a documentary scrapped the 24th as well, and then he was dropped by a creative artist agency. And the biggest one yet is his Adidas partnership brand. It did the 25th, which was today. It was announced. And apparently I saw a stat as far as the percentage of Adidas total sales. It was like 8% or something like that of everything. Some crazy number for the Yeezy brand. For what I'm trying to say, for this podcast, I'm not really trying to get into what he's saying. I mean, obviously the stuff he's saying isn't right. I want to really tackle it from a different perspective, and that is these companies deciding to, step in and do things, right? We talked about Chase Bank as well on the last podcast, saying that he was no longer able to use their services, that they wanted him out as far as his account, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing is just, obviously we live in a capitalist society, right? So everything's about money, but it's just weird. Like, people obviously are speaking out, and the only time these companies decide to do anything is when they feel like the things are going to hurt their bottom line.
When they're threatened.
Yeah. So it's like they don't really care.
Threatened.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, these companies don't really care about you. They don't care what you say or any celebrities say or any politicians say. They do not care as long as they're still making their money, right?
Well, they do care if it affects their money.
As I say, they only care when it starts to affect them directly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And which is what's happening now with Kanye. I guess they're like, okay, we're actually going to lose money, or we might make more money by cutting him off, essentially, right? And one of the things I wanted to bring up, I'm trying to grab a wire. Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to play a video for Javi here, and you guys as well. You all will hear it if you're audio only, and you will both see and hear it if you are on YouTube. Okay, it looks like I lost it for whatever reason. Let me just find it again real fast. Okay, so basically the video I'm looking for, it is of LeBron. I believe it was 2019, and this was during the Hong Kong protest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
This is when things really started to get weird.
You're talking about, what do you mean things getting weird?
I don't know. Like, this Kanye thing is a lot deeper than we think. Like, he was being hated on for so long when people were calling him crazy. Like, he needed to go to like a mental hospital and stuff like that. Like,
I mean, he does
a lot of the stuff he's saying now is true, and the stuff he's saying then was also true.
What do you mean? A lot of stuff he's saying now is true.
I mean, true as in, like, I mean, he's just expressing some of the stuff. He's just expressing his thoughts. His freedom of speech. Like, I'm not his.
Yeah,
whatever he said, like with the Jewish people,
Yeah.
like hated on them. I mean, one big thing that he stated was just that he thinks that blacks are Jewish people.
I think he says,
and
he
he said that,
Jacks
like,
are the true
the
Israelites.
True, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he just expressing what he thinks is like is true. You know what I'm saying? And then he's also expressing, like, basically saying the reason why he's getting hate is because he said that, like, blacks are the true Israelites.
That's one of the things. But I'm
and he's saying, like, he's trying to tell people, the black people, like, who is his community, like his people, that they need to wake up. They need to start, taking control of their life. And that's when it falls into like the rabbit hole of, like, like Donald Trump getting banned, like trying to, freedom of speech, and then Tate. Now, you have Steve will do it. You have.
What does he have to do with anything?
I mean, just people that say and do things that the higher ups don't like. They're just trying to ban them.
I don't think there's really anything. I mean, I understand the other ones, but Steve will do it. You threw him in there. That was just kind of odd.
I threw him in there because
he does nothing. See, he's just trash. Honestly, Steve will do it.
He does nothing special at all.
He just.
I threw him in there because he's also got banned off of a lot of social media platforms as well recently.
I'm back to, you were saying this stuff. Some of the stuff he said is true. What do you're saying? Stuff he said was true, or you just?
I honestly, it's kind of crazy to like. I was trying to find exactly what he said, and the media, a lot of like social media or like internet resources aren't saying exactly what he said. They're trying to like eliminate, like, quoted what he said exactly off the internet.
I mean, I guess, but you just gotta actually look. I mean, you just have to find out. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
too
yeah,
difficult to find the stuff.
Dive deep into it, to really truly find it. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, what I'm getting at is you said the stuff he said was true, but you're not bringing up a specific instance. So do you mean it's true, or do you mean are you saying that you're understanding some of the stuff he says as far as like being able to be a free thinker? What did you mean by that? Is what I'm getting at.
okay, true in terms of like, well, really just him expressing his opinion, his thought. Like that might be his truth.
Okay, so you mean
And
it's truth?
yeah, it could be true. Yeah, it's not true for everybody. Like everyone has a moral code, and to kill somebody is wrong. That's not a true thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like, hey, whatever he's saying is all true, but yeah, I'll just the fact about the Jewish people, like the blacks or the Israel, are like the descendants of the true Israelites.
As far as what you're saying,
I'm not saying like that is for sure true because I don't really know at all.
Okay, so you just misworded what you were trying to say. Basically, as far as what he was being truth.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to understand because I didn't get what you were trying to say was the truth.
I mean, everyone has their own belief and saying things, but a lot of things that he's saying, I wouldn't necessarily like disagree with personally.
Okay, I mean, yeah, of course he has some things that you can't really disagree with, but like obviously the anti-Semitic stuff you're not going to agree with. That wouldn't make sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly what he said.
Okay, yeah, I know he just.
I try to find it online, but everywhere's just saying he's banned from Balenciaga, he's banned from Adidas, he's banned from here. Like they're saying all the reasons, like all the effects, but what is the cause? Like what are? That's it. That's backwards.
I don't know.
Basically, they're showing like the outcome of what the cause was. Like what did he actually do to receive all these?
So
things?
he's definitely said a number of things that were anti-Semitic, and you would agree to if I remember what they were and told you, but. I didn't make a list of that because that wasn't the direction I wanted to head, because everyone's headed in the same direction as far as just talking about it, and I wanted to just do it from a different perspective, you know what I mean? And that was the whole companies don't really care and they're just worried about their bottom dollar. So the video I was looking for again was of LeBron, and this was from let's see, I believe 2019. So this was during the Hong Kong protest, right? If you don't know what that is, look more into it. I mean, it deserves looking into. And one of the big issues was the Houston Rockets general manager named Daryl Morley, and he tweeted in support of the Hong Kong protests. And the issue is the NBA was silent, and a lot of NBA players who were normally vocal about social issues, or they said they were, social activists, were silent on the whole Hong Kong matter. And LeBron, he's someone who prides himself, I suppose, on being a social activist, or so he said a few times. And he had this to say about that general manager. I'm going to play that video real quick.
Play that thing.
Freedom of speech, but there can be
Let's see.
a lot of negative that comes.
So this is the end of the video. Let me set it up.
We all talk about this freedom of speech. Yes, we all do have freedom of speech, but at times there are ramifications for the negative that can happen when you're not thinking about others and you're only thinking about yourself. So I don't believe I don't want to get into a word or sentence feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke, and so many people could have been harmed, not only financially but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we tweet and we say and what we do. Even though yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too.
Last question, please.
I know it's kind of difficult to hear. I could not figure out how to turn it up for whatever reason.
No, I heard it.
It was not wanting to work.
They heard it too.
Yeah, I can turn it up in post. So basically, yeah, LeBron he was standing
Not
against.
agreeing,
Yeah,
yeah.
he wasn't really agreeing with the general manager's tweets. And basically, I mean, this LeBron, he has stuff with Nike. He has a lot of other sponsorships. A lot of these companies are, China, as far as the manufacturing and a lot of the stuff, China's really heavily involved into it. So, you have these people who are making their money with these companies who are heavily involved with China. So they're, trying to not really protect them, but not really, what is the word? They don't want to talk bad about them. You know what I mean? Like that general manager
They
did.
try to keep it neutral.
not even neutral. I mean, like some of the stuff they really should talk about. So the whole Hong Kong protest, you have these people who are, being activists and saying human rights, da 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 da, and then they don't say anything. They're silent. And then you have people who do, and they want to go and say they don't know enough about the subject.
Do you know what was going on in China, in Hong Kong? You know why that?
It was a number of things, and that's something else. This is a whole nother topic. If it's definitely worth looking into, so look into that. What is it?
I mean,
there's just a number of things. They were just protesting. They were trying to be not dependent on China or separate. I think it was a number of things.
The big thing, what it was supposed to be that England actually owned Hong Kong for the last 100 years. It was a treaty where Hong Kong was owned by England, and in 2019 the treaty ended. So England had to give Hong Kong their independence back, basically, like their freedom.
Okay.
And when that happened, China then was like, okay, English don't own you anymore. We're taking you back. Like you're now under China's control.
Okay.
And Hong Kong was like, no, we're not.
Yeah, they were trying to be dependent.
And that's what it was. Yeah. And that's how it all started. And that's what I was talking about earlier about, like the rabbit hole. Like, I'm not even gonna say too much. Like, just do your own research type stuff.
Yeah. So basically, with that, what I'm getting at is just looking at different situations where things have occurred, and these companies have not really made an effort to care, right? So again, you have China doing all sorts of things. Hong Kong protests specifically right now in regards to what I'm talking about. And then another issue, this has been going on for a while, right? You have the Uyghurs, right? It's a group in China. They are predominantly in the northwest area of the province. They have been, let's see, I have a list of things here. So China has been accused of genocide against these Uyghurs, mass sterilizing their women, and a number of other things. I think there's even been leaks, right? People hacking into whatever, showing the crazy things China's done to these people. And it's something to look into on your own. Check it out and just do your own research. But again, it's just another thing. This isn't like this is a well-known thing, right? This is something you can look up online right now and find, right? You can see pictures, you can see videos. There's been leaks. This isn't a made-up thing. It's not a sort of conspiracy. It's a real life. And again, it's China, and you have these companies that really involved with China, and they're just silent, right? So my point is, again, just to wrap it back around. It's kind of seemed all over the place. It's just like you think these companies are being activists. You know what I mean? We talked about this before during Pride, how a lot of companies will change their Twitter picture, but then they have a Twitter account for the Middle East, and they don't say anything, obviously. So they're just pandering to whatever, to the market, audience, society, whatever it is. Yeah. And they don't really care about you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They just worry about the bottom line. So yeah, I just wanted to bring light to all that. Not really talk too much about the stuff Kanye said. Obviously, he said a lot of messed up stuff. But again, it's really just to get you thinking about these companies and whether or not they really care. Like a lot of people think they do for whatever reason. It's really odd. But they don't. And it doesn't make sense to think that they do.
Yeah, they don't. And basically, if you were to drop down, if you work for a big company like Amazon or wherever, if you were to drop down, they're gonna fill your position the next day.
Drop dead.
Drop down dead. Yeah.
You said drop down.
I said drop down. If you just drop dead, they're gonna fill your position like ASAP.
Yeah, they won't care. So
they don't. Yeah, they just don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I really just want people to think and just really understand things. Like, yeah, there's stuff that's messed up, that's getting said, but also realize that they do not care about you. And a lot of issue too with the stuff Kanye said, and a lot of people are getting upset about is and then specifically the black community. They're saying, why didn't you do this stuff when he was saying this about the black community? I mean, he's black, so maybe that could be an issue with it. But again, he said slavery was a choice many years ago, and that was a really big issue. And I think he said a few other things, obviously the White Lives Matter thing. He actually
said some crazy thing the other day, and he actually pointed it out.
He said a number of crazy things, but like what I'm saying is people are just upset that he didn't get cut or these companies didn't do anything or step in when he was speaking out on black people. And this was the black community. A lot of people were saying this, and they were saying it because they felt like the things he was saying was true. Again, this is my interpretation of the situation. They're thinking what he's saying was true, and that it's further proven by the fact that things weren't done when he spoke out or spoke against black people, essentially.
Yeah. Honestly, the big thing for me is that I'm taking from this is like you have to like think and be independent as much as possible. Like nowadays, the way society is, like we're on our phones, like they're feeding you internet, like Walmart, places like that. They give you not Walmart, well Walmart does, but like McDonald's, they all give you free Wi-Fi. Why? Because they want you to be on your phone. They want you to use that stuff. They want you to be scrolling, swiping, all that stuff. They want you to like to be receiving constant dopamine all the time. Like every once in a while, I'll see a post on Instagram. Would you spend 6 months here with no cell phone for like $1 million or like whatever? Like whenever I was I will go there for free. Like just
That's what I'm
because.
saying. Every time I see this, I'm like,
Yeah,
it seems
I
so
feel like
crazy.
exactly.
It seemed like an easy
Why
answer.
would you not go?
Yeah.
You know, but I mean that's our thought. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people might be like, "Oh, I'm never gonna go. Why would I go there with my phone with no phone for 6 months or for a year? Like that's stupid." But honestly, the fact that you said that too, I feel like a lot of people are also agree with us, saying that I would go there for 6 months and leave my phone behind. So with that being said, like, I mean, I'm trying to get into a better habit of like getting up and like not checking my phone. But I'm in like a long distance relationship where I get up and it's just a habit where I just check my phone and respond or send a message out first. I need to really do better at getting up and focus on like a 10-minute meditation, like a 5-minute stretch, or just getting outside and doing stuff first. Sometimes the last thing I do before I go to bed is on my phone, and then sometimes the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is on my phone. It's like we need to, as a whole, like as individuals and as a whole as society, just take a step back from our cell phone as much as possible, because before we know it, like we're gonna be so down deep in this hole, like with the metaverse and the what's that stuff called?
Yeah, like VR, virtual
VR,
reality
like
stuff.
all that stuff. And in 20 years time, like we're gonna be so invested into all that, like you'll be crazy not to have a phone, or like not to be on your phone.
It's like that now. It's already crazy not to have
Exactly.
them.
That's
And
what I'm saying. Like if you're not in control now, you'll never be.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the issues now that stem like in society. A lot of like mental disorders or diseases. Again, not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not putting a blanket statement, but a lot of stuff has to do with like social media and what you see online.
It's all big
And
propaganda.
it's just not even that. I'm just saying like constantly you're seeing other people's lives. You compare your lives to them. You compare your lives to their lives, and you're seeing things and you want things, and you feel like you're not in the right place, so it puts you in a bad headspace, and you have negative thoughts, negative energy, and then it just brings you down, right? So it's a constant, you're getting a constant influx of seeing other people's lives who you think have it better than you, essentially. So it just brings you down. I just was kind of going in as far as what you were saying, as far as like the whole just being involved too much with technology and stuff like that. Just live your own life, just appreciate what you have and kind of don't think everyone has it better than you just because of what they show online. Like it doesn't work like that. Everything you see is not always like surface level. There's a lot more that goes into stuff that you're seeing.
Yeah, what you struggle with, I'm pretty sure I know for a fact there's hundreds of millions of people out there who struggle with the same exact thing. Like what you care about, there are other people out there who care the same exact thing about you. Like everybody has ups and downs. Like no one's always happy all the time, and no one's not always sad all the time. Like it's just emotions just come and go. Like it could be in the same as talking about like with greed and lust. People who struggle with certain things. Like you won't always be greedy, you won't always be lustful. Like those things just come and go, and you have to just to an extent ride the wave to be conscious of the wave you're on.
Yeah, I mean you're oh man, what was I about to say? I had the word in my head that I wanted to use. Oh man, keep going. I'm gonna think about it.
Supercalifragilistic. I don't know how to say that word.
No, you just keep going. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, just the big thing is like I think like you started about China. China is in control of a lot of things. A lot of things that happen in China, they happen in China first for a reason.
You mean a lot of things that happen in the world?
No,
happen in China first.
Yeah, a lot of things that happen in the world happen in China first, or a lot of things happen in China first for a reason. Is what I'm getting at, because I think China's the big like.
I mean, China has a lot going on, and
they do have a lot going on.
It's kind of bad to speak out against China, like as far as like on a big level. Like I said, NBA players and people who get a lot of their money from China. Like I said, Nike, LeBron. I think
Yeah.
LeBron's brand is under Nike too, which is probably another thing. But
I'm not even worried about brands. I'm too much talking about things that happen, like social norms to an extent. Like,
oh no,
for
yeah,
instance, the social credit
'cause-
score.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's really big. The social credit score in China is like you have a score and you get like, I don't know. I'm
It's
not
a
from
so-
Chinese. I'm not Chinese. So I don't know exactly. I
Yeah,
don't live there. So
I know a little
they're
bit more
very
about it.
detailed about it. But I guarantee you, in the next 5 or 10 years, the U.S. is going to have that, and it's being
They've
played out,
already tried
worked
to do-
out here or worked out there in China, like as a trial, and then,
Yeah.
and then it's going to go to U.S. and then it's going to go all around the world.
And the thing is, when people say things like that, you're thinking they're crazy until they actually
It's
happen.
not crazy.
Like, yeah, it's like China. This is a legit thing. China has, like you said, the social credit score. So it's like your
credit
regular credit score based off your financial history and bunch of different financial standards. Except they are applying it to your social life, like things you say, things you post online, a number of things. Check it out. And no, yeah. So recently there was some issue with PayPal. Did you see about anything about that?
Not necessarily.
So PayPal, they, I don't know if it was in their terms of service or somewhere in PayPal's documents or something. I don't know. They were essentially saying that if you said something that they didn't agree with or that they felt was wrong or whatever, again, look into this yourself, that they could charge you. And it was like a crazy number, like $3,000 or something like that.
That's
So
crazy.
basically, if they didn't, and it had nothing to do with you being like something tied to your PayPal account, like you could have set it elsewhere and they would have linked you to your PayPal account. You know what I mean? It could have been no direct. There could have been no direct correlation between your account,
That's wild.
your PayPal account, and you saying this elsewhere, and they're going to charge your account, right?
Yeah.
And they backtracked on that. Again, check this out. This isn't some sort of conspiracy. This actually happened. I think they said that they mistakenly put it in or something like that. But a lot of people deleted their PayPal accounts. They tried to, and they weren't able to. It's a number of things. But yeah, earlier I was thinking of spectrum. Your emotions are a spectrum, right? You're not, like he was saying, you're not always happy or always sad or whatever. There's always going to be a spectrum to everything. But yeah, the social credit stuff,
It's
crazy.
It's
it's real stuff.
If you ever heard no one ever say it, like what the social credit score is, and your first time hearing it now first, you're welcome. But just be aware we're saying it, that it's coming to the U.S. sooner or later. Like it's just.
Hopefully
it's
not. But the thing is,
you just said they tried it here in the U.S. They
it
tried it.
It's not that we're trying it in the U.S. It was PayPal. So yeah, they're kind of trickling their way in.
They're trickling the way in because that's how it is in life. You 20 years ago you had no credit cards. You had cash only. 10 years ago you had cash with just debit, and then now you have debit and credit, and then you had to swipe everything.
Yeah, but that's
And then
technology.
recently-
I get that. I get
That's
that
just how
example.
everything is. Just
Yeah, but that kind of that's like a good thing. I feel like it could be, but it could be bad also.
I think it's a bad thing.
I guess it just depends. It depends on the perspective that you like. If you see it from one way or see it from another, or see that certain things that could happen. Like for instance, it could be headed in that direction because you want to keep track of the transactions easier. If you don't have any cash, you're able to keep track of transactions all online.
I'll tell you. Well, I'm just gonna to say it out. Like we're on the same thought about like it could be good or bad. I think it's bad because, basically, like it's eventually what's gonna happen is that everyone's gonna have the chip like on their card. Everyone's gonna have a card. Like 10 years, everyone's gonna be using credit, debit, whatever. They have the chip in their card, and it's gonna be like where you just, you put your card up to the payment system, and all the systems you just place it there.
Yeah, they
So
have
you
that now.
Yeah, well, not a lot. Walmart don't have that.
Well, a lot of places have that. Yeah,
A lot of places do, but
most places. But what's the issue with that though?
what I'm getting at is basically the mark of the beast. It's like
Yeah, but
that's
again,
religious. Well, okay. Well, going on with that though, like the reason why I said that is because that's just my thought of where it's going to go.
yeah,
And
but
it
what's
could
the
be
issue
50
with
years.
that? I'm just
The
trying
issue
to.
with that is,
Yeah.
you're receiving the mark of the beast. You're just basically
But that's from a biblical or perspective from the
religious
Bible or
perspective.
Christian.
Yeah,
but
but what
fundamentally,
America
what's
also
wrong
go-
with it? What's like I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying I wanted you to tell me why. Why is having a chip in your hand bad?
Because
I think it's weird. Don't get me wrong.
'cause
I think it could lead to other things.
Let's say it
But
could
I don't
lead
think it's
to like
inherently bad.
maybe it could lead to like cancer with like like electronic stuff in your body. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like for instance, Neuralink. Neuralink. Elon Musk thing. He's trying to put a chip in the mind where you have.
Yeah, that's
like,
weird
all the
too. I think
information.
it's
yeah,
weird.
it's like it's just it's just crazy things that are like happening.
I guess it's bad if they allow something to lead to something else.
Yeah,
I don't think
I think it is.
I don't think on its own it's necessarily bad. Like the chip. The chip is just a chip. I don't think it's bad. I wouldn't do it because it's weird, but I don't think it's really bad. Especially if you can't really argue that it's bad from a perspective that's not religious.
We don't know exactly what it is. My thought is like, with earphones, like if you use the earphone for too long, like with the radioactive like waves and whatnot, like Bluetooth waves, like there's been studies saying that wearing the Apple headphones for so long can enlarge the brain, like swell it up.
I don't know
bit.
those actual medical studies. I feel like I've seen stuff like that on like
do your
TikTok
own research.
Yeah,
I've done my research and I've came across stuff that they're trying to like ban certain Bluetooth headphones because of those reasons.
No, I know.
So
some
when I
of
do
them
use them,
probably,
I try to use them for no more than 90 minutes. Like if I'm working out at the gym, I use them for a good 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
I take them out and I don't put them back in for at least how long I put them in for.
Yeah.
Like, but even then, like I rarely use them because of that. Like I don't really have them as much now because the wireless is just so there. But the wired headphones, just A1.
like these.
Yeah, like these right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's not convenient. Like people want convenience nowadays.
Exactly. They want to sell you the thought of being convenient. Like they want people to be comfortable.
Exactly.
That's what
There's not really an issue with being comfortable either.
It's not an issue being comfortable. You should be comfortable, especially like in your own home and stuff like that. But like I think being too comfortable, you're just too relaxed, you're too like permissive and stuff like that. You just like allow things to just happen and whatnot. You just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm like that a lot. I'm gonna go with the flow, but I feel like personally, like I need to stop being like that. You know what I'm saying? I need to start being more active and doing, and like really just doing it. I don't really like Nike. I actually love Adidas. But just doing it is a good slogan. Like, mine is don't think twice. Just don't think twice about it. Just go with it.
I'm like the complete opposite. I don't like that at all.
Well,
like
I mean,
for me,
I'm
thinking way more than 2 times. I'm thinking like 10 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's just
sometimes
that's how
people
I've
just
always
think too
been.
much, and they just they're losing
No, I know.
time.
No, yeah, definitely. I know. I mean, in many situations, yeah, it's not good to overthink things. But yeah, so I just want to again summarize what we've already talked about. We kind of just first off, I want to clarify: neither of us agree with any anti-Semitic, tweets or whatever Kanye West has said. That wasn't anything we were saying. I just want to clarify that in case it wasn't clear already. And again, the main point was really just get you to think about things as a whole. Everything's not in a bubble, right? There's a lot of variables that go into certain things. So just like, be proactive and looking and researching and thinking, right? Don't just be like a fucking, I don't know, what's something that just takes everything in.
A sheep.
No, I didn't mean like that. I mean,
Well,
like,
that's what I'm thinking of. Like, don't
like
be
a
sheep.
vacuum or something. I mean, like something that's just constantly
Yeah.
bringing things in, like
Yeah.
a sponge. It's good to be a sponge in some instances, but like as far as what you hear or see, it's not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as what you're being told, make sure to look into stuff and think, and don't just take everything as truth.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we said originally when we first started. We kind of wanted to talk about stuff like this, and we've kind of done here and there, but not like this. Like I would like to talk about stuff like this all the time, but it's kind of like it's really a lot of energy,
and there's a lot of
you have to really
a lot of toe stepping.
Yeah, like you don't want to say anything that could be interpreted in a different way, because again, that's not our intentions.
Everything is like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying we don't want to come across as anything like that. We don't want to be come across as like conspiracy theory. He don't either. To be honest, you want to be a conspiracy. You want to be a conspiracy theorist.
I feel like
or anything like, I don't know.
Some of the apostles.
Apostles for what?
For Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What about them?
They died. They got crucified like Jesus. There was one apostle who got crucified upside down because he said he wasn't even worthy to be killed how Jesus was killed.
Oh yeah.
But what I'm getting at is I'm saying, like, I'm always gonna be true to me. And sometimes, whenever I make these videos, like, I have to be conscious of how much I say because of, my line of work or, who.
That's how it is with anyone, and that's how it should be, kind of.
to be honest, I don't really like that.
Well, that's just that's the direction the world's headed. I mean, if you don't,
that's why I think some people.
well, then I mean, this can turn into about speaking your.
I'm trying to
What
take.
is it
I'm
called?
taking the red pill, y'all. If you know what the red pill is, you know what the red pill is. You don't even know what it is.
I do know what the red pill is.
What's the red pill,
But
bro?
I think you don't know what it is, and you think you do. I think the red pill has. It used to be this, but it's gone a different direction. So it's probably not.
Where's the red pill come from?
It comes from the Matrix.
Okay.
So you're saying
you
it
never
from.
seen the Matrix, have you?
I've seen the first one. So you're saying
Okay.
it from that perspective, right? So just seeing things differently and not just taking it.
Well, yeah, definitely see things differently.
But I'm saying the
But
red
I'll-
pill
I'm-
now is associated with a lot of has a negative connotation to it, and
It
it's
has.
not
Because they
something that I
want
don't
people
think.
to think that way. They want people to associate
Yeah.
with the negativity or like a negative choice because it has people waking up to corporations, to power trips. Like people who are just trying to conquer and divide, things of that sort. That's what I think.
I think, yeah. I mean, all that's really funny because it's just people think that a lot of stuff that is said that it seems outlandish is just movie type scenarios. You know what I mean? Like it's stuff that can happen in real life. You know what I mean?
And the reason why I said earlier about like me being true, like staying true to myself, is because like I'm always gonna be true to me because I feel like if people just fold, like then they'll always be folding. If you fold once, you're gonna fold twice.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
You cross yourself, you're gonna cross yourself again, type stuff. And that's the big thing. Like, I mean, yeah, honestly, just stay true to yourself in the day, because I came across, this is something totally different, but last week, actually 2 weeks ago now, we had a soccer game,
Mhm.
and the referee didn't come because he had committed suicide.
Whoa,
Yeah,
the ref.
the referee.
How'd they find out? Did y'all find out recently, or you
My
found out
wife
that day?
found. Well, I found out a few days beforehand. Like the game was supposed to be this weekend. He was supposed to referee our game.
Like in a few days?
Yeah, in a few days.
Oh, okay.
But we had to find a whole new ref because of that.
Hmm.
And the next day, this guy, a person, then
You had a new ref.
no, well, this is a different story. Kira's brother's friend's dad,
Mm-hmm.
so like a family friend,
Mm-hmm.
he also committed suicide a while back, like
Mhm.
just a week and a half ago. And I mean, I've tried to put myself in the situation of like individuals who would want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I even thought about it myself to an extent. Like this, that, and this. I mean, I don't know what the reasons were, but I'm just trying. Like the reason why I said about staying true to myself, because I feel like if I was to cross myself, then I'm not saying it could lead to that, but it's just you have to just do things for you, by you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's also because you and I, we have kind of like a strong, I don't know, like a strong grasp of like who we are, who we want to be, right? And as far as like you're saying, doing things that aren't you, right, would be like detrimental to your mental health, your mental
Yeah,
well-being. You know what I mean? Like in
exactly.
the long run, like so it's a matter of you may have an issue momentarily, whatever, but as long as you are true to yourself or whatever, in the long run, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
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 Fly.
Yeah, like I am conscious of my reality and like what goes on around me and in me and all that. But,
In you.
yeah, bro. Like we're energy.
No, I'm messing with you.
Like I don't know. Either do your own research and dive deep into your own thoughts
Yeah.
and stuff. Like we all one thing I'll say is if you ain't acting on your thoughts, then you really just wasting them. Like thoughts are just thoughts at the end of the day.
But you
they
don't
could-
want to act on all your
they
thoughts.
could be-
Sometimes
yeah,
you
you
might
don't
be
want to have
someone who,
intrusive thoughts. Like sometimes I be thinking like
we don't want to. I don't need to hear. We know what intrusive thoughts are.
some people might not know what intrusive thoughts are.
Yeah.
Here's a simple intrusive thought that I have sometimes. It's just funny.
Oh my gosh. I don't
Like
know. If I
sometimes
wanna
like
hear
I
it.
be drinking the water. I'm like, what if I just put the cup down and spat the water all at everybody around me?
That's not too bad.
That's not, yeah, But I was just thinking like what, and honestly, I can't lie to you, it happens quite a lot. Like, I'd be eating food, I'm like, what happened if I just spit the food everywhere? Obviously, I'm not gonna do it, but I was trying to think like, what would everyone's reaction be,
Yeah.
and how would they then perceive me as? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, everyone. I'll say everyone does it, but yeah, a lot of people do it. But
It's just I don't know. Life could just turn in the blink of an eye, snap of a finger. You know,
yep.
and that's how life is. Like you could be alive one minute and be dead the next. So stop wasting time. You know, be hungry, and you know, just know that these corporations, the big people here aren't out for you. You need to find, you know, you need to be close to family, be close to friends. You don't need to have too many dang friends. You know, I saw a quote something earlier. Oh yeah, here it is. Ready? It says, "Fake friends are like a shadow. They're there for you when you're in your brightest times, but as soon as you go into your darkest hour, they're nowhere to be seen."
It's good. It's a good one.
Yeah, and I was like, "Dang, that is true." So like, and
I've
not
always been
saying-
apprehensive about calling people friends. I know Mary will say stuff, and she's like, "Oh, that's your friend." I'm like, "That's not my fucking friend."
Well,
I've always been like that. Like I don't know. I don't call anyone really my friend. I have a few, very, very few. I'll probably tell you right now, if you're not including people in my family, because I'm just saying people who are not my family that are my friends, I probably have less than 5. So I'd probably have less than 5 friends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or people that I would call friends. There are people who probably think that I'm their friend and they're my friend
Mhm.
and we're friends, you know, or whatever.
But you don't see it that way.
But I don't see it that way. And again, everyone's definition of friends is differently. Like, you know,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing too. This is totally separate. But a lot of Americans have a big problem with saying they love things, right? This is like really like I think American focused thing. Like, ooh, I love this food. Or, ooh, they meet someone. Ooh, I love you so much. Like people don't do that in Europe and other countries. Like it's a really American thing. So maybe like as far as ooh, you're my friend, it might be like a really American thing too. You know what I mean?
It might be.
I'm not too sure about that one, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you about the friend thing. Like I used to always say growing up, I don't have best friends. No, never. No one. I don't. Even right now, I don't have a best friend. I mean, the only person who would be my best friend is like my lady. But even then, like, I'm not gonna dive too deep into that. But I just don't consider people like my best friends. Like either you're my friend or you're like a family. Like there's no best friend. It's somebody that I know you, and I know you, or you're close enough to where like okay, like I can trust you type stuff.
I feel like
you know?
I feel like it's a fine line. Like I feel like your
Oh,
friend
it's
or
so
family.
fine.
Like I think it can go from like friend to family and not really best friend, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So like Tyler, for example.
yeah, that's fam.
Yeah, Tyler, you fam.
Yeah, fam, boy, Tyler and Justin.
So yeah, like stuff like that. I feel like it can really switch.
Yeah, definitely could switch. You know, there's people that are
But-
friends that you just, I don't know, you just know that they're not. You wouldn't invite them over for like, you know, a slumber party. You know
What
what I'm saying?
party?
A slumber party.
Yeah.
Like you invite them over for like you know, dinner. I don't even know that.
Yeah.
If you come over to my house, like we close.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, I mean that's it. I think that's all I really want to talk about. Again, we want our original goal of the podcast when we first started it. We wanted to try to make people think that was again this is our original goal. Things
That's
transform.
still our goal.
So that's what I'm saying. We're kind of getting back to that in this podcast. Like it's fun to talk about current events or just random stuff, things we enjoy. Like we still want to do that, but I really enjoy talking about stuff like this just because some people don't think like that, and it's good to maybe help people think that way. Again, I'm not telling you to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. I'm telling you just to be someone who thinks and questions things and doesn't just take everything at a face value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. I
Yeah.
mean, and we're not some crazy I don't know. Like I don't know if we've given our credentials in the past, but I'm gonna give my credentials now.
What do you mean credentials in terms of what?
Like academics.
we have.
Have we? Well, if we have, I think we may have actually the first one, or maybe it was the episode 0, which wasn't posted. But
I am a professor at the University of Georgia.
no, nothing like that. But yeah, you can. I mean, yeah, we both have bachelor's degrees. Jonathan Javi has his master's. I got a bachelor's of science in computer science. You know, I'm a software engineer. Javi, you know, like I said, he does his stuff.
Yeah. I'm
So
a
we're not
coach.
like some like weirdos that are like,
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
not,
know.
we're not. We're not.
We're not some like hippies or something that are like, you know, doing something down the road. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We could take a right turn. You know.
yeah. Anyways, my point is, yeah, we're not like some fucking like hiding in like a dark room, like on the interwebs, like looking up super crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Oh,
just
you
a
talking
matter.
about like some gore stuff?
Nah, see, I don't even know what this man's talking about. No, I'm just saying in general, not
What does
like
gore mean again?
could mean all kinds of stuff. Anyways, yeah, that whatever.
Yeah,
you
I
know what I'm
don't-
talking about. We're kind of just ranting right now. I'm just, at least I am.
Yeah, he's over here just going in circles. Hey, we are circling thoughts over here. What's that? Oh, I came
Put
across
some cheat codes and make you shut up.
Nah, I came across something the other day about these what are these called? What are they called? People like in games like CIP or CPIs.
Yeah. Fuck. We play games, but not like that. That's
Yeah,
like,
we don't.
like AI type.
No, I know AI. That's artificial intelligence, bro.
And I know what AI. I know that. I'm saying like that's what they
Like
are.
a bot, like
That's
a
what-
bot, basically.
Yeah, that's what they are in the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically,
Oftentimes they're AIs.
yeah.
Not
Don't be a
always.
bot. Like, don't be no booger. You know,
How'd you get from bot to booger?
because bot is a booger. Like, this is doo doo.
I'm not understanding that.
Anyways, I'll add a few things. Probably three things. One is if you know, because white men in their 40s and 50s are most predominant to suicide. If you know a man in their 40s and 50s, if you have a father or uncle or somebody, brother, checking on them, tell them you love them, ask them straight up, hey, like, how are you? You want to, and if, you can gauge the conversation. If it's not right, invite him out, buy him a lunch, or hey, ask them, hey, can you buy me lunch? Type of stuff, just to whatever. So I'll say that just because when I came across that information about that referee and that guy's father, I was like, damn, like, it rubbed me the wrong way.
So before you go to 2 and 3, I don't know if they have anything to do with it, but yeah, I just want to jump in 2 and saying, yeah, you're not, like, there's other people out there. You might think you're alone, and you might technically be alone, you know what I mean? But there's still people who are always out there who would be willing to talk to you if you needed them to, you know what I mean? So that you could be literally alone, like have no family, have no friends, you don't have no coworkers, you're just, who knows, you're dependent on the government or something, and you're like literally have no reason to talk to anyone outside. There's still people who would help you or talk to you. You know what I mean? Like you're still literally not literally alone, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just and again, things are there's a spectrum to your sadness or to your being depressed. You know what I mean? You're not gonna always be in that state, and some people, they deal with it their whole lives. I mean, for me personally, I've dealt with like depressive episode type things my entire life. But at this point, I'm 29 now. I've kind of have learned that that's just what they are. They're just phases, and I will come back around usually. I mean, I do. I have up until this point. So
Yeah.
yeah. I just want to jump in before you went to whatever your second thing was.
Okay, my second thing was I wore this jersey, as you can see. It's a Juventus top. The Champions League had a match day 5 today, so there's 6 total in the group stage before they go on to the quarterfinal and the semifinal and the final.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, there's round of 16, then quarterfinal, semifinal, final. But Juventus did not qualify for the round of 16. And yeah, they've been going downhill lately. Like they have 3 stars on
Just
top.
that jersey while you can.
Yeah, for real. Honestly, I wore it because no one's gonna see this for a while unless you watch League One or what is that's not League One, the French league. It's Liga A. Yeah. So unless you watch that, you're not gonna see the Juventus top for a hot minute.
Oh, this is my Halloween shirt too.
Another one. Oh, speaking of Halloween, I'm gonna tell you a quick Halloween story. So diagonal of where our home is, there used to be this guy back in the he used to build a haunted house in his front yard every Halloween for like I'll say it was at least 10 years because he had a son who was a kid and I guess he just wanted to be like a cool dad and build a haunted house in his front yard. And I remember as the kid got older, he actually would make the kid be like working inside of it.
Oh yeah.
And he would dress up and just wait. And it was a small little maybe like a 10 by 10 by 10 box. And he like cut it and like he had like little hallways. So like you like walk through. It was like you walk through in like 15, 20 seconds. But the kid would be in like scaring people. It'll be funny, but I just want to share that thought about Halloween but next video, Halloween will already be passed.
What we got? 6 days of Halloween?
Yep.
Yeah.
Third thing is, God bless.
There you go. That's our podcast. Episode 17 is in the books. It's in the books. Is that the right thing?
Yeah, in the books.
In the books.
Yeah, locked and loaded.
Appreciate you guys watching, tuning in, listening. We like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, whatever. Do all that good stuff. Again, if you need someone to talk to, you got a hobby.
Yeah, bro, hit us up, bro.
Here.
Yeah, add me on Instagram. I mean, you ain't gotta add me. You can just send me a message. Come on, my profile's on public. Shoot us a message. To our personal, to the Circling Thoughts, Instagram, the TikTok, wherever you want. You can do it from your personal account. You can make a whole new account, whatever. You can go on Reddit. You can talk to people. You can talk to people.
Yeah, Reddit's a big community. They have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
The way the world's set up now is with technology is like you might feel alone.
You might be alone.
You might be alone,
but you're not always alone.
You're not, and that's what I was gonna say. That's what I did earlier when I did this right here. I messed up, but the Lord's with you. Like the Lord got you, whether you know it or not.
And if you don't believe in that, then there's still people who got you.
Yeah.
So you don't always have to go that route. But if you do, that's fine. And if it helps you, it helps you regardless. Whatever helps you in life. If it helps you find your peace, then go for it.
And that's all that matters. As long as you got the peace.
All right. Anything else, Javi?
Peace.
Peace, y'all.